Hiya, my name is Mike. Welcome to my guitar channel, Guitar Assistance. This lesson we're going to cover some commonly asked guitar questions. This one's really for more beginners. I think if you start picking up a guitar or have just a few basic ideas, commonly asked guitar questions that beginner guitarists might make. I think the first one is a guitarist asking what is a guitar capo. So this is one style of guitar capos. People call them capos as well. Now, they are also known as cheater bars, but they're really not. I think at the start, I would probably stay away from using a guitar capo or capo because of the idea that it can seem like a cheater way to get out of using your major and minor bar chords. So obviously your normal idea is when you first start playing guitar, you want to have strong fingers. Haven't got strong fingers yet, but the only way to get that is to practice. So your major guitar chords are something like this. Right. Now a guitar capo, you would put this on the guitar fret. It bars the strings. It's the same sound, but instead of actually using my finger to bar everything, you're obviously just doing an open E, which gives it the same sound effect. The reason why I say it's not called a cheater bar is because when you get a little bit more verse in the guitar chords, you'll realise there are some guitar chords that are impossible to play without a guitar capo on. So that's one thing, or one way around it. Especially if you've got smaller fingers, you can't use your pinky. If you're going to do something like say you try and do a D major chord with the full away, a lot of the time people can't get their pinkies to stretch like this, so this chord's fine for me, but instead you put a capo here and do the D there. So it's not really a cheater bar, they're pretty useful. Another commonly asked guitar question: how long will it take you to learn to play the guitar? Tough question, so it depends on how many hours you put in. Obviously it's the question you probably know already, or the answer should I say. I started playing for a couple of hours a day when I first started, and I was normally doing about 45-minute segments. So let's say I was doing about 3 hours a day, do 45 minutes, I would stop, do something else, do the next 45 minutes, and probably do another 45 minutes more, might be in half hour or so. I was interested, so I didn't stop not playing. I wanted to keep playing the guitar. It's important, obviously, you've got breaks in between. If your fingers start hurting, that's when it's time to give up. You need to obviously give it a rest, wait for your fingers to not hurt, and then carry on doing it the next day, really, or day after. Another commonly asked guitar question: should you buy an electric or an acoustic guitar? All down to preference, really. I would say if you can find a song that influences you, no matter what style that is, do an electric or acoustic, whichever guitar that musician's using, because that's the reason why you picked up the guitar. You want to play that song, so to play that song is going to keep you interested. If you think you're going to play guitar for a long time, I would say buy an acoustic guitar first, because the tension in between the strings, you have to do a lot more. So when you go from acoustic to electric, it's a lot easier, because electric strings are the tension isn't quite as hard as what acoustic is. But it doesn't matter in the grand scale of things. You've got many years to practice electric, acoustic, both at the same time, whichever you prefer, really, or whatever suits you. What size pick should you use? Once again, another question down to preference. Guitar pick sizes, all depends on your hand size. Which ones you feel comfortable using, really. You can get many different shapes, many different sizes. I use Dunlop guitar picks, or Tortex guitar picks, one of the two. They last quite a long time. You get plastic ones, you get metal ones. Obviously, each their own. How often should you change guitar strings? Another commonly asked guitar question. Normally most people do it every 3 months, or they say they do it every 3 months. I don't think many guitarists, unless you're out on the road, would change it any sooner than that. It's an expensive job. Guitar strings, they come at about 10 to 15 quid for your electrics, and good acoustic ones can come on sort of 15, 20 quid, if not more sometimes. So I haven't changed mine in about 7 months, which I guess is quite bad, but it plays fine. You should change it more often. If you've got the money, do it. It's a tedious job, but yeah, it's one of those. What size strings should you use? Once again, another question down to preference. Lighter strings, probably be easier for beginners. Doesn't have quite the fuller sound. They're slightly easier to break, of course. Thicker strings have obviously got a fuller sound. They're obviously harder to break. Yeah, I mean, I think most of you metal guys, if you're into your metal music, they're going to be the ones playing the thicker strings, because they're the ones that are just, you know, sort of chucking away at the guitar strings. How quickly will you be able to play songs? I think if you pick out a song, leave about 7 to 10 hours practicing, you should be able to play an easy song. Maybe not competently, but you better play it enough to where someone can probably, you know, understand and hear what you're playing. My fingers have marks on them from playing the guitar, so this is normal. Normal practice. Practice makes perfect. You won't have guitar hands when you first move out. When you first start, you need to build up your guitar hands. They just need to get stronger, and then they need to get a bit more resistant to the strings. Give about 8 weeks, and the pain in your fingers will go, and you'll be fine. Why do my strings buzz when I make a chord? Couple of reasons. There could be a multitude of reasons, but the probably most common ones is you're doing a chord, but your fingers aren't on the strings properly enough, like that. So instead of pressing the chord down, it's one of the fingers aren't on the chord, or some of the fingers aren't on the chord notes properly. And probably, yeah, just the last pretty thing is that yeah, either your strings or your fingers might be actually on the little silver fret markers. It's causing a buzz. So just make sure you're having a look to you know, where you're pressing. My couple of videos before, I did a guitar chord exercise. You're just hammering on the strings on and off, on and off, on and off, just to gain a bit more tension on the strings. That's quite helpful. Yeah, if you can give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this channel, please subscribe to me as well. More videos will be followed shortly, but yeah, these are kind of like the, I guess, the beginner guitar questions that are most commonly asked. Any other questions or anything else that I might have missed, just send me a message and I'll get back to you pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.